Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel again. Just right after I released my last video, I realized that if I want to do talking about the English idioms, just like a series, I realized that it will be impossible for me, even you would say throughout my lifetime, to complete that book because I need to maybe first explain and then give some example and about my own feeling, own experience about the idioms, and it will be far too much. So I decide each chapter I will just quote one to several idioms, like around 3 to 4, and record it in a video. And today, last time we will talk about something else, but today we will talk about elements. So here comes the first idioms about elements. In one's element. Explanation. It is in the conditions that best suited to a person's tastes and abilities, enjoying oneself enormously. Like, the sergeant major is in his element drilling the young recruits. So the example is talking about an officer training the soldier, but also you can use this phrase or this idioms, like if you are really good at a certain subject, you can say that when you are having this class or doing those kind of tasks, it's in your element. And also if you are taking kind of competition about the skill, your ability would be higher than any other guys. You can also say it is in your element, and this is a phrase or idiom that describes you meet what you are good at. And the second one is to brave the elements. It is to defy very bad weather, used to mean simply going out in rain. Example, well, I suppose I had better brave the elements or I shall miss my train. So I think it is a idiom certainly described about the raining weather, and you have to do something against the rain. Like, I remember that there, just last month in Shanghai, there is really heavy rain in raining cat and dog, and it taught me a lot of things. I will tell you guys about this story. Yeah, I am. There is a lecture in my school, and they force everyone to listen to it. So actually, after that's the time then we should leave our school, which is 4:30 p.m. We are going to listen to a lecture, and after lecture, I think the rain is so heavy, and I'm a day student, and still, since my parents have not arrived at school, so I just walk away to my classroom and waiting for them. And I met another day student, and he wanted to borrow my umbrella, and that may be the fullest decision I've ever made, because I estimated weather incorrectly. I think that the rain, although it is heavy, it has a trend that it is raining smaller and smaller. So I think maybe it is suitable to borrow to get to do the other day students a favor. So I say yes, you can borrow my umbrella, and I give it to him. And soon after, when my parents came, I noticed that it is really raining really heavily, and without umbrella, I cannot figure out any method to get to the school gate, and just unless if I take the just run into the rain, which is to brave the element. And it is actually spring in Shanghai, so it is the weather does not seem so well, so it is quite cold. So what will happen? I catch a cold, and I'm ill for totally 1 week, and because that's near the end of year exam of some subjects that CAIE will test it. So in our school, like the semester end at the beginning of June. The end of year test of those CIE subjects lay on like the end of March. So for 1 week I have to lay on my bed and do not know anything to revise. So it is actually, if you say is it wrong basically or seriously, it is not wrong, because it is a really it, at least in my opinion, it is good to learn to do someone a favor if you have the ability. But the case is that you do not have the ability. It taught me I'm actually a simple person, so I do not like consider questions really really difficult in a difficult way. So I just want to help my friends, but I forgot that I cannot even protect myself at first. So it taught me that you need to first ensure that you yourself will not have any kind of problems. Then if you have the ability, if you are willing to help others, then you can do them a favor. And the last idioms in this video: to vanish, disappear into thin air, which means to disappear completely without leaving any trace. For example, we used to see a lot of our next door neighbors. Then one day, without any warning, they vanish into thin air. So it actually means that something just simply disappear without a trace, I think. And I remember a lyric in the Blue One Love, like it is gone without a trace. That sentence. Okay, no more talking about some off-topic things. I think that a lot of things will disappear into thin air if you think critically. Like if you are watching electronic devices, your score maybe disappear into thin air. Of course, just joking. If you just can control the time watching electronic devices, it will actually boost your study. And maybe many things like money can vanish into thin air because you do not have any kind of budget and just use money without your parents controlling you. And their cinnamon, to disappear like water on sand. So why is this an idiom? Because what will be if you pour some water on sand. If you think the water still exists, so why there are still a lot of deserts in the whole world? If this method can be taken into consideration, the whole world should not have any kind of desert. So it means like if you pour any kind of, no matter how large the amount of water into any kind of sand, they will simply just disappear. Because if we explain it in a much more logical way, because the particles of water is much more smaller than the particles of sand. That means there will be some gap between the sand particles, and so the water particles can just disappear into it. And also, there's another idiom called out of thin air. Where do you imagine I can find $500 out of thin air? I'm not a magician. So it means that it cannot be out of thin air means out of nothing at all. And if you use it into a sentence, that means this thing is unachievable unless if you have magic, of course, joking. So it actually means you need to do something impossible because you do not have anything out of nothing. Now I want to show you guys something, because firstly I've considered that this video's duration is not being long enough, and also I think this is just a small milestone I've achieved, so it does not worth to start a brand new video to talk about this thing. So actually, maybe you guys are just think it is really simple or easy, or not so surprised that to keep a NOFAP streak for 10 days. But to me, I think it is a complete success, because before just starting this streak for before starting this streak, I've started around I think above 100, and I've watched a lot of videos. Not that kind of videos, but videos about how to tell you how to be not addicted to porn. So yes, I've seen many of them, and some videos like some I am lucid video left me really great impression. And I remember he said that it is never too late to start a NoFap streak, and I think this time maybe I will success. And the reason why I record this is just to maybe celebrate for the milestone and make me still keeping motivated to achieve next goal. And I wanted to talk about the changes that brought to me during this NoFap 10-day long NoFap streak, and I hope that this streak will still be extended like till I of course my dream is to like 1 to 2 years, but it has to just be longer than 1 to 2 months actually. So talk about my changes. So first, really simply that can reflect the NoFap streaks result is my weight. Of course, since like just before I kept my weight as a secret, so I would say I reduced around 5 kilos in those 10 days by, stop eating junk food and exercising. So many people will say, hey, this is a no fat free, but I think it is also really connected to have a really healthier lifestyle, because if you keep eating junk food and do not exercise, like I think some nervous system would tell you after eating this you need to come to your study and just kept watching videos. But if you force yourself to go out to like exercise in the gym, like to socialize with your friends, you first ensure that you do not have any time to stay in your study beside when you are sleeping. And also my study has my bed, so I sleep on it. So now I build a so-called fence around my bed, so it will be automatically released when it is 10 p.m. and also automatic raised when I get off my bed. So actually during that kind of that period of time I cannot get onto my bed, so means less chances for me to masturbating. So I think it is also useful. And there are other results that I am much more concentrated on reading. Actually reading is has been a habit for me a long term, because no matter like during primary school and junior high school I read like some languages Chinese books. And this bad habits uh like just make me not so really concentrating on this book. Maybe I turn I read like 10 pages, then I will give up that book and maybe sleeping or take a nap. But here today, like recently, just talk about an example today. I read, the book I bought. I talked about last video, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. It is actually not a book that really raised my interest, but still I read about 16 pages at one time, and it is probably the longest record I've ever held. So actually I think this is a process that you can become more and more concentrated on your study, even on the subject that you are not so interested in. And also I noticed a lot of changes. I noticed that I spend more time with my parents, because like long before, when I'm just staying on my study, I just not fapping, just sleeping, just studying the subject I like, or watch those kind of 18 plus videos. But now, like whenever I feel tired, I just went out the door and having a talk with my parents. And also I have to say, I'm not so sure if I mentioned before, but I will still say it maybe again. I have 2 cute dogs, so I just accompany with my dogs, and I found it really interesting. And like I am truly getting a brand new life here. And also I've really decent amount of my homework. So you may think that international school homework is not so much, but I need to preview everything. I need to pure mathematics 3. I need to preview mechanic 1. I need to preview history, accounting, those two subjects I like, and I also need to preview chemistry because I'm the top among the top students in our school. So actually, the school make up like a really a best class that it is aimed for chemistry called SSIG chemistry, and I'm a member of that. So I need to, you know, at least preview some of things, and I need to know the basic knowledge about the next semester and the next year. And maybe I want to think about other advantages is about socialize. Now I'm contacting my friends more and more frequently. I even like just yesterday I meet one of my friends. Like we just keep shooting. It is a really new a skill I just picked yesterday, and I found it really interesting. And also I've just talked with one of my friends to there is a lot of these. In this way I have to praise Shanghai because it has a lot of high quality tennis courts. So I just make a promise with one of my friends to play tennis next week in the court that Shanghai Rolex Master 1000 have just raised. So I think it will be an unforgettable memory. And also since I've just said went to gym, so I want to let you guys see some kind of the results I've taken in gyms. And yeah, it actually makes it seem normal for you guys, but actually it made me like a bit of proud, and I just want a bit of show off. But please do not blame me because I'm just too happy. Maybe you can feel it, maybe you can't. Of course, it may be a really difficult job for me to memorize what like every equipment's name. This, I think, is like the experience of rolling a boat, and you can see like my grade and my school. Like the third picture is the first day I go to gym, and the last picture is today when I went to gym. So you can see like I turn my level higher and higher, and although you can see that maybe time is a bit longer, but since like each level you step in, they will push you a bit harsher, so it will be really normal to to spend a much longer time than the previous level. And I think then I will talk about like the gym because I think that the rolling boat, because I am a sportaholic. I love to do some research for rolling boat. The official land distance for rolling boat I think is 3 kilometers. So I just simply follow it, and I've tried a lot of strategies in order to achieve my best goal. And also I forgot to say that today's record is my personal best. So I found a lot of ways in recent 3 days, because in recent 3 days I've reached the maximum level that is level 8. So I found out a lot of strategies, and I even do some simple mathematics in order to calculate whether I can get the most decent score. So end up I make up a conclusion, that is you need to spread your whole energy fairly throughout the 3 kilometers. So in the first day I try to use all my strengths to rolling about in the first 500 meters really at a really like amazing speed. But I think that I can make a lot of advantage through this 500 meters, and I realize that the other 2.5 kilometers will be really difficult for me because I have no energy, and this will reduce my advantage. But I think that maybe the advantage can overweight the advantage I beat, but of course I'm wrong. And since today I found it that spread your energy really fairly, and maybe if you still have energy at the last 200 meters, you can like use all of your energy into it, and you can get a decent grade. Of course, I'm not saying my grade is decent. I know that all of you guys, or most of you guys, can make a better grade about the rolling about equipment, but still I'm happy to achieve my personal best. And this equipment, just I also post three pictures. The first one is the latest one, yeah, today's one. So you may ask, what is this equipment? So it is actually, I think, I can just describe it. You put your feet on a board, and you use both your feet strength and your hip strength to make the chair you laid to move a certain distance, and you can change the weight. So what I found is amazing is at the first day I decided to start this NOFAP streak. I started to go to gym. The result is I can pull up 210 lb, but now just today I pulled out 290 lb. So actually I think that a normal person cannot have like improving the grade at a so decent rate, because I think because I'm lack of exercising. So I think that it is just like you have talent, but you do not pay any kind of effort. So I think it is just what I should do in our study, because in our study, like, if we are being talented in certain subject, I think that we need to at least throw effort into it. If you do not throw effort, you cannot ever know like how talented you are in this subject. And that is the same thing about the equipment you use in the gym. And this is just what I shoot with my friend yesterday. Of course, since I'm amateur, I have never touched shooting anything before. So I think this is I take up a few tries. So this is the best try I've ever made, and no, there is no arrow out of the target, and I even have two arrows scored 10. So I think it's quite decent. And since I started NoFap streak, I found out there is so much things in life worth us to spend time in, but not, I suddenly realized that, spending time in your study fapping is just what a idiot would do. And still, I hope that I will extend this streak longer, more than 1 year, 2 years. Of course, you may consider I'm daydreaming, but still, at least I achieved this milestone, and this will encourage me to extend my streak. And thank you for listening to me gossip for this long times. Thank you guys, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel in order to motivate me to keep uploading high quality videos. Thanks a lot.